Hey everyone, welcome back. I felt I needed to get this update out because you have probably noticed that there has been a lack of content recently, and there are a couple reasons for that. One of them being real life. Let's just say that some things have been going on in real life for me that kind of had to take a priority and kind of made me have to take a back seat to recording. One of which being my dog had a unfortunate accident, and she has been needing to, in regards to her leg. So it's actually been hurting her mobility, and she's been having to now take extra medication to try and heal up, even though she's around 10 years old. So she's unfortunately never going to be the same as she was. And my parents are at the moment out of town. They're going to be coming back really soon, but it basically has made me have to focus more on taking care of her myself, since if I'm not around, my parents can help take care of her in the meantime. But also, more big releases have been coming out at the movie theater, which means I've been getting more hours, which is actually good because I've actually was having a bit of downtime where I didn't get a lot of hours because the things were really slow. So let's just say I kind of need to work some hours because I need some money. So yeah, let's just say real life stuff has kind of been affecting that. Plus, because of the amount of hours, let's just say sometimes I feel a little fatigued or a little tired. I'm no spring chicken anymore. I'm 34, so I'm kind of starting to feel a little older, less energy than I used to and such. And, I still enjoy recording, and but I have to be in a good place to record. I have to have energy. I have to have motivation. I have to be wanting to and eager to play something and also to record something. So let's just say recently I haven't really been in the mood to actually sit down and record stuff, which is why there's been a lack of content. I was actually kind of spreading it out. I went from uploading a video every day to, if you look at the recent uploads, they were kind of spaced out and spread out. That's because I was trying to kind of buy myself some time with the uploads. And recently I just have not recorded anything else. So I'm planning on doing so at some point. I just need to be in the right place. Things need to get better. Although, who knows what's going to happen in regards to my dog here. Fortunately, my dad is in a good place with his recovery where I'm not necessarily having to be on call to help him out as well. He's in a good place recovering from his knee replacement surgery. So that's good. So yeah, real life was one of the big reasons, basically. The other reason was because I mentioned in a previous update, last time on one of my channel updates, I mentioned the situation in regards to Origin and the EA app. At the time, I thought I made assumptions about what was going on with that. I thought it was over because it was announced like months ago, but things were still working fine on my end. Then recently, I tried booting up Origin, and I got a notice saying the EA app is now the official app, and it gave me the option to both boot up the EA app, but also to uninstall Origin. And there was no option to cancel out of this. Basically, it was forcing me to have to either uninstall Origin or just not use it. There was no, option to prevent this. So, realizing this, I had no choice. The reason was that the EA app up until this point had been in the beta phase. It's no longer in the beta phase. It's official. So, Origin is officially gone, and the EA app is now the permanent replacement. So, in regards to how did this affect the playthroughs that I am currently doing that are in my EA app library, well, there's 3 current ones that I have been doing that I was concerned about. Obviously, one of them being Mass Effect Andromeda. That's why you're seeing it on your screen here. And that's the one I want to talk about specifically. There's Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, fortunately, things are fine in that regard, but there's another reason I've been holding off on that. And then there is the original Dead Space from 2008. Though that really has nothing to do with the platform. Though there is something funny. So, Dead Space first, because it's probably the first one, or the shortest one. I'm only using one mod for that, And fortunately, switching platforms does not affect that. What's amusing is that every time my virus scanner to protect my PC, the antivirus thing that you usually set up on your computer, every time it does a scan, it thinks it's some kind of threat, and it quarantines the mod. And I have to tell it it's not a it's not a threat. Don't quarantine it. Restore it in order to put it back where it was. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Keep in mind, it's the mod that fixes the mouse, so I kind of need to keep it. Now, fortunately, this is going to be probably the last time I ever play the original Dead Space, so it's not going to be that big a deal. Also, in case you're wondering, yes, I finally did grab my copy of the Dead Space remake, and I'm able to play it on my PC here, but only on the lowest settings. Like, even all my recommendation stuff on this recommended playing the game on the lowest settings. So, I could do a playthrough of it on my PC, but it's not exactly gonna be looking all that wonderful. If you're wanting to see somebody play it at top quality, I'm sure there are plenty of other playthroughs on YouTube on people's much more expensive machines, compared to mine, that you'll be able to see it look better. If you still want to watch me play through it here on my PC on the lowest settings, feel free to let me know. Or would you rather wait until I either upgrade my PC's graphics card, which hopefully would be the only thing I need to do, but who knows. Or if you'd rather wait until I get a PS5 and play on there. Although I have a feeling I may prefer to play on PC. I've gotten so used to using a mouse, going back to a controller for a shooter game, just kind of, for me, it's just like, I don't know if I want to do that. But feel free to let me know what if you would like to see that at some point. Keep in mind, I wouldn't do it right away, because I want to actually finish the playthrough of the 2008 original Dead Space before we even consider doing that. And we may even just, instead of going to the remake, just go to Dead Space 2, but whatever. I guess I'll figure that out later. Now, in regards to Dragon Age Inquisition, fortunately, the mod situation moving from Origin to EA app is fine. It's not really affecting that. However, I discovered something when it did that, because apparently it changed my graphics settings. And when that happened, what I discovered was that, you remember how in the playthrough I was having trouble actually showing a hair mod on my Kunari that I had specifically gotten, and it wasn't showing up? I found out the reason for that wasn't because there was a problem with the mod, it was because it was a graphic setting. I think it's the mesh setting. If you turn it down, it actually makes the hair go away. But if you turn it back up, all of a sudden the hair is there again. So, yeah, that fixed that. However, there's a bigger issue. Now, it may not be a big deal, but I'm concerned it could affect some other stuff. So, what I'm regarding here is that there was a mod I found that was supposed to add an extra vendor in the Black Emporium. The vendor was supposed to be able to provide unlimited crafting resources that you could be able to buy. As in, you could go there and there would be 99 of every thing you use for crafting in Dragon Age Inquisition, unlimited, and it would constantly restock. So you could just buy like as many crafting resources as you want, which, if you know how collecting crafting resources in Inquisition works, that's a fantastic mod. Here's the problem. Every time I try to go to the Black Emporium, the game and what's hard freezes. As in, it freezes and then I can't close it. To the point where I literally have to restart the entire computer just to close the program and get it responding again. So, I guess that mod is causing that. Now, in hindsight, that's not that big a deal, because I can still do the entire playthrough without ever having to go there. It's not required. It's a totally optional thing. My concern is that this hard freezing issue is going to affect other areas of the game. Like, not having to go to the Black Emporium, that's a big deal. What if I have to go do a main story quest and that hard screen freeze thing happens again? That's my concern. So I may just go ahead and continue and just hope that that does not become an issue. But if it does, it puts the playthrough in jeopardy, because obviously I can't have us going to a main story area and then the game hard freezes because of it. So that's why I've been holding off on continuing Inquisition, because I was hoping to find a solution to this problem. If not, I may just give up and just play as normal without ever going to the Black Emporium. So Now, in regards to Mass Effect Andromeda, this was the one I was most concerned about because, like I suspected, it was not allowing my mods to work. Until I discovered a solution via the description page of a mod on the Nexus Mod site of Mass Effect Andromeda mods. I was looking at a description of someone having worked on a unofficial patch for the game, and on the description, it mentioned how, depending on what platform you're using, there is an option in the Frosty Mod Manager to actually specify which platform you're using, so it will actually use the mods. And fortunately, this option actually fixed the problem. So now, Andromeda works fine with the mods. All I had to do was tell it I'm booting it up from EA and not Origin, and the mods are now working fine. So, that's what's going on there. So it looks like Andromeda is going to continue just fine when I get back around to it. World of Warcraft, I've actually been kind of neglecting recently. I guess that's part of, when you have an expansion where right now it feels like you can do what you want, but then you can just kind of leave it alone and not feel like you're falling behind. Now, I'm sure I am because my guild has already gotten AOTC, but remember, as I've said before, my guild raids on Friday and Saturday nights, which, of course, since I work at the movie theater, most of the time I'm scheduled to work there, especially now that, we're getting some big releases in recent times, so of course I'm getting scheduled to work lots of hours on Friday and Saturday, which, obviously conflicts. Now, you may go, well, why don't you just get shifts around that time? Well, they raid at night, and I don't like working early. Just to put it simply, I'm a nighttime person. I much rather prefer to work at night to be able to sleep in. I don't like getting up in the mornings. I'm not a morning person whatsoever. So that's kind of the thing. So, but fortunately, they know. Anytime they put out the thing asking people to sign up to see who's going to be available on the roster to raid, if I put down an absence, I let them know it's because I'm working, and they understand that they already get it. So, that's just the situation that I'm in. But it's more so in regards to the extra story content, which is, of course, tied to the rep and the renown, which I'm working on to try and continue to do the story stuff when I actually do feel like logging into World of Warcraft, which sometimes I have not. To be honest, I've actually been playing a bit more Overwatch than World of Warcraft lately. I finished the Battle Pass, but there are times where I want to try and get better because I've been playing it more and playing more competitive. And especially when I get motivation by people, speaking very negatively about me in the chat, about how bad of a tank I am or how bad of a DPS I am. Yeah, let's just say when I see people, talk garbage about me, it can tend to light a fire in me to want to actually prove them wrong and get better, to the point where I am actually considering purchasing a coaching session, which I know sounds strange, but yes, there are people out there who will actually help coach people to be better at games like Overwatch. And I've found somebody who actually does do these sessions. He'll also stream them if that's what the person who purchases the session actually wants, and they'll be treated as guides for the character on how to better play the character, what in terms of other various different mechanics and such, just baseline for the game. And it's gotten to the point where I'm just like, yeah, I'm very much considering just getting, purchasing a session, and if he is cool with it, what I would do is purchase a session where he can go ahead, we can do it on his stream. And if he's fine with it, I would put a video here on my channel letting you guys know about it and putting a link to that stream or VOD, if he uploads it as a VOD on his YouTube channel, for you guys to go and see so that you can watch on his channel. So that way I'm not taking any viewership away from him. I'm more so, directing you to him, unless he, of course, wants to go ahead and name drop this channel to help, to kind of collaborate promotion, and cross promotion, I guess you could say it. So anyways, yeah, that's why I've been playing a little bit more Overwatch recently than World of Warcraft. If you're wondering, are you ever going to get back to certain playthroughs you haven't finished that you did years ago, like Dishonored 2, for example, or Uncharted 4? It's something I have constantly been telling myself I have got to go back and finish those playthroughs. Like, I started. Dishonored 2 came out back in what, 2014? And I never finished it. And that has eaten at me for a long time. Because my plan was I was going to do a low chaos run with Emily. Then I entertained the idea of we're going to then do a high chaos run of both Dishonored games, but both as Corvo. Obviously, I have to play Corvo in the first one, but in the second game, I would play as Corvo instead of Emily and have him go through a high chaos run. Just to show you guys the differences in the game when you go through as either low chaos or high chaos, because I find it very interesting, the difference in the game, differences that are going through, happen in the games as you're going through them. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. When is more content coming on the channel? I honestly don't know. It's going to be when I feel like it, when I have time, when the situation regarding my dog is better, although it may not. It's honestly getting to the point where we may have to consider, if she gets worse, to, consider having her go to sleep. And I've already gone through putting one dog to sleep. I'm not looking forward to doing it again. And, just when I feel in a better spot, health-wise, in terms of, like, my mental health and just my energy, less fatigue, less stress, and of course, time and such in regards to scheduling. Sometimes I think I'll record, and then turns out something else is going on today, so I can't really record now. So, it is what it is. Real life at times can just be what it is, and there's almost nothing you can do about it. You just go along with what happens. So that's the situation that of what's going on, why there hasn't been content on the channel. So this could be an unofficial break from uploads on the channel. I don't know. Again, this is not necessarily a planned break. This was just kind of a break that just happened just because of things that have been happening. So, I want to come back and do some more recording. I like actually continuing and finishing the playthroughs that I intended. I don't just want to start things. I actually want to finish them, because there's been other playthroughs that I've actually teased doing and starting, like doing StarCraft Remastered or Shadow of War Middle Earth, and I just haven't. So, like, I upload, like, the first part, and then I just left it alone, So, and I don't want to do that. I actually want to actually go ahead and do those. But sometimes it's a matter of just finding the time and finding the energy to actually go ahead and do it, That's just how it is, So, I would like to say I'll keep you guys posted, but I don't think I'm not really sure if I will. It's more like I'll see what happens, and I'll try to get back to providing you guys some more content and such. I do love when you guys do ask me questions and other things. Like, some of you have been asking, when am I going to continue the soloing raid series from WoW? And to which my answer is when Blizzard makes soloing the BFA raids more soloable. More possible to actually solo them, because right now there are things in those raids that literally make it impossible. Well, maybe not impossible, but literally make it very, very difficult to solo them. And we have to wait until they actually change some of these things to actually make it where you can actually pull off doing these solo. But yeah, so I basically just have to wait until Blizzard actually makes those changes before I can actually continue that series. So if you guys have any more questions about any other stuff, feel free to ask me in the comments below. Anytime I get a comment, I get an email notification about it, and I try to be attentive to them. So, yeah, I will see you guys next time.